Hello friends, T. Haas here again with Noble House Hotels and Restaurants out of Seattle, Washington. It is cocktail hour again here, right around 6 o'clock right now, and a couple of days ago I shared with you one of my favorite cocktails, the Negroni. The Italian cocktail Negroni, made from 3 equal parts, Campari, gin of your choice, and sweet vermouth. Now I'd like to share with you a variation of that cocktail, that iconic cocktail, a Negroni-based cocktail, in other words, and it's called the Boulevardier. The Boulevardier is also a very easy to make cocktail because it features 3 equal parts of spirit. As I said before with the Negroni though, the actual ingredients are very important, and they're the determining factor and the outcome of the cocktail itself. So just like with the Negroni, the most distinct component of the Boulevardier is the Campari, right? The classic Italian bitter orange aperitif. Campari also recently came out with an upscale version of their, I don't know how many years, actually over 100 year, probably old product. And it's called the Campari Cask Tales. So if you want to feel very special and treat yourself to an upscale Boulevardier, use this one. Both of them, you can't go wrong with either one of them. Anyway, Campari, main ingredient of Boulevardier. 2 ingredients left. And here is where, actually let me jump to the second one, is the sweet vermouth. Sweet vermouth, just like in the Negroni, very important. We use a high quality sweet vermouth. Preferably the Antica Formula vermouth, which is in my opinion the highest quality vermouth on the market right now. It has the most substance, the most depth, and makes literally the best mixed cocktails. So Campari, sweet vermouth, same as with the Negroni. Now comes the difference. The Negroni, the third component is gin, right? With the Boulevardier, we substitute gin for bourbon. And again, your quality bourbon of choice will do for that. My go-to bourbon is usually Maker's Mark, and more specifically the Maker's 46. We also have when I say we, here locally, the Edgewater Hotel, the F&B team there traveled to Kentucky to the Maker's distillery, and with the head distiller made 1 barrel, 250 liters of a special select Maker's Mark bourbon, a private select one that actually has features 109.7, so almost 110 proof, but it is delicious. It's really great. You can enjoy it at the Edgewater at 6-7 Restaurant and Lounge there. So anyway, Maker's is my go-to choice, but sometimes I mix it up. Hudson bourbon, baby bourbon right here from upstate New York. Booker's, obviously, everyone knows that. Probably Woodford Reserve as well. So whatever you choose, you kind of sort of can't go wrong as long as it's a quality bourbon. You stick with Campari, which you have to, and you choose the quality vermouth as just mentioned, and don't go the route of the cheaper ones like the Cinzano Rosso. Anyway, so that is the beginning. Those are the 3 ingredients. It really is a delicious cocktail. I usually have a Negroni as an aperitif, so before dinner, right? Cocktail hour, in the bar, waiting for a table, and a Negroni to me is the optimum cocktail. It is fresh. It opens your taste buds up, ready for the food to come, and so on and so forth. It doesn't clog it up. It's not too heavy. It's a bright cocktail. The Boulevardier is a touch more full-bodied because, again, you're replacing the gin with bourbon, right? So a clear, fragrant, aromatic spirit with the much more heavier, oaky spirit of bourbon. And then we stay with the sweet vermouth, obviously. And again, because of that, I personally enjoy a Boulevardier after a meal, sort of like a digestif, right? With dessert, personally, I love them with dessert or just after a meal, after you get up from your table. You might find yourself in a bar again, a lounge or something. That's where I personally order a Boulevardier. Now, how do you make a proper, good tasting Boulevardier? Again, you could make them as an up cocktail in a mixing glass, right? Ice in it, pour the 3 ingredients in it, stir it, and then drain it, strain it, and then pour it in a nice coupe glass like that. Or I usually drink my cocktails, the majority of them, on the rocks. I prefer a large old-fashioned glass with quality ice cubes in it. You can use spheres, large cubes, or proper good-sized 1-inch cubes, multiple ones. Let's go, the Negroni I made with a large sphere, so let's go with some quality 1-inch cubes here. Put them in your glass, using your hands, obviously, because we are not in we're in a home environment here, right? So here we are. We got the glass ready, beautiful large glass, proper ice. Here we go. Always use a jigger. Don't free pour because the proportion of 3 equal parts is imperative for Negronis, Boulevardiers, any cocktails really for that matter. So let's start with 1 part Campari here. Voila. Then 1 part sweet vermouth. Voila. And then 1 part bourbon. What to use. All right, let's go to the Maker's 46, which is, like I said, my sort of go-to staple bourbon. Et voila. 3 equal parts. Contrary to the Negroni, the Boulevardier is a touch darker in color. The red of the Campari still comes through it, but because of the bourbon that substituted the gin, it is a bit deeper in color and also deeper in taste, so to speak, right? The garnish for it is half an orange slice, either fresh, air-dried, or these candied ones are pretty delicious and work really well. Let's see how it tastes. Fantastic. Such a good cocktail. Not well known at all in the United States, but just fantastic. So many layers in it, it's beautiful. You have the brightness from the Campari. You have the alcohol forward and woodsiness from the bourbon. And you have the sweetness from the sweet vermouth. Altogether, just awesome. Everyone who I have introduced that cocktail to literally loves it. Also, one thing that is great with these cocktails is that they are very easily batchable. So as much as I like to make individual cocktails, sometimes you have friends coming over to your house and starting to make individual cocktails for like 4, 5, 6 people and then a second one can, be a bit challenging at times. But that's why I batch my Negronis here. Here is a Negroni carafe decanter. And then here is actually my Boulevardier decanter, also batch, 3 equal parts. Nothing goes bad, nothing needs to be refrigerated. The ingredients stay together, stable as you batch them and put them into the decanter, and it's great to have on hand. Anyway, here from my house to your house, cheers.